Hello everyone and welcome to Misano. It is time for race number 3 of the weekend here to end a Saturday of racing. We're getting all set and ready for Group A versus Group C as they try and forge their way through into the finale of the Misano weekend. Race number 4 tomorrow. Of course, it won't be the final race though. That'll be the Imola recovery race is what they're calling it. We're going to be looking forward to that to end the season. But for now, it is time to get going with Saturday's final race as well. We welcome you up to the commentary box where my name is Omi. Delighted to be with you as per normal here in Italian F4. And alongside me, as you can see, to the bottom of screen there is Wes. And Wes, here we go then. Time for some more Misano racing for Italian F4.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a good one. We've got a few drivers missing, as we said at the end of the last broadcast, but that's not gonna dampen our spirits. And Kei Nakamura Berta, who is one of those drivers who's not taking part in this particular race, will get a well-earned break and a bit more time to celebrate the championship that he clinched the last time out.
Yeah, if you weren't with us earlier on, then we've already crowned our champion. Congratulations to Kei Nakamura Berta. He became the champion of Italian F4 earlier on, and one of the main reasons was around this phase of the broadcast we brought you on air, and it was because our pole sitter for race 2, Gabriel Gomez, was stranded in the pit lane after having some issues when he went on the circuit. He was stranded in the pit lane, and that was day over for Gabriel Gomez. He didn't get to see the pole. It looks like his car's repaired. It looks like he's heading back out there on the circuit, and he's ready to start from this pole position. But there was huge drama as we kicked off race number 2. Let's see what's going to happen in race number 3. He should be starting on pole if he can navigate his way right to the end of the formation lap this time by. The personnel, the mechanics are all making their way off the grid and about to get themselves into the pit lane to watch with the rest of us as the drivers do battle. Here is the race grid though, Wes.
Yeah, absolutely. As the 30-second board goes up, we have got actually starting from pole position this time, Gabriel Gomez from Salim Hanna. Newman Chi goes from 3rd and Lucas Emilisto 4th. Then it's Andrea Charles Dupé from 5th and Ukrainian driver Alexander Bondarev 6th from Singapore driver Kabir Anurag and Reno Francot, who hopefully will get some better racing this weekend. Then 9th is Emanuele Olivieri from Marcus Sata. And then the second of the Ukrainian drivers is Alexander Savinkov and Van Amersfoort driver Dante Vinci. 13th will be Jan Koller. And then my dark horse for the weekend, Niccolo Machinani. And then it's Bart Harrison 15th, Elia Weiss 16th. Then it's Andrea Kostic in 17th from Busso. Then Kosani and Teo Schropp 20th. And then new GB4 champion Ari Bansel is 21st from Oscar Repetto. And then it's row 12 is an all Middle Eastern affair with Badal Solaiti and Guy Albag. And then row 13, David Volta and Antonio Arago. And then 27th is Nicholas Cortez from Phil Schrenger 28th. And then bringing up the rear is Cornelia Okutska for Maffei Racing.
That's the grid. They set off on the formation lap. Sun is setting here at the Misano World Circuit, so if you thought identifying was hard earlier on, wait for what we're about to get here in a few moments' time. This is the formation lap. We're about to get ourselves positioned on the grid. This is the first race that Gabriel Gomez will be basically doing this weekend. Of course, we've got the group format. Group B, of course, is not in participation. It means, Wes, as we were talking about at the end of our broadcast earlier on, that a lot of our big contenders are gone. That is a huge opportunity for Gabriel Gomez, who's also fighting for second place in the points battle.
That's right, yeah. At the end of race 2, he lost that second place to the what has to be an absolutely dominant performance from Sebastian Weldon so far this weekend. Now, Sebastian Weldon is also missing from this event, so you could say that Gomez has a race in hand, so to speak. So assuming everything goes well for him, he should be taking back that second place in the championship. But I mean, as we saw from race 2, nothing's ever guaranteed, and hopefully that the US racing team have got whatever gremlins was going through his car repaired, and he can have a quiet and relatively uneventful race from pole position.
That's the aim, but he's got so many drivers who will want to try and make sure that isn't the case by the end of our race today. So the cars getting themselves in position. Badr Al-Salati will be looking to try and move forward on the grid, but we've got a grid which doesn't have Weldon, it doesn't have Key Nakamura Berta, it doesn't have Maximilian Popov, some of your contenders which we saw fighting earlier on. And this is going to be completely wide open then. The start is very critical. That is what we've learned so far this weekend. Our pole sitter has led every single time. Or our net pole sitter, of course, in race 2 with Gabriel Gomez, who didn't start from that position. Okay, here we go. Green flag at the back. Here come the lights at Misano. Italian F4 is racing for the third time this weekend, and Gabriel Gomez has got the getaway that he needs to maintain P1 into turn 1, leading the way ahead of multiple Prema cars. They're trying to get up to the inside line. Is Lucas Amalisto trying to gain a place? Can he do so? He's got the inside line there, up against Andrea Dupe. Plenty of cars going off the road as well in the background. Anurag trying to fight up against Reno Franco. Can he get there? He's ahead of Reno Franco, who loses a place in the PHM car. It's Gomez who maintains the lead out in front.
Yeah, brilliant getaway there from Gabriel Gomez up at the front there. Salim Hanna had maybe half a chance of making it, but didn't feel like it was safe to do so. But yeah, so he slots into second from Newman Chi. Samalisto maintains fourth. And then it's Dupe Bondarev, Francot, Anurag, and Olivieri.
Great start to the race there. Lucas Amalisto still looking at his mirrors. Reno Franco is the car going round the outside as well. That is in the mid-pack as we get the gravel being kicked up as well in the background. Aggressive racing as they make their way towards our camera down there. If you are synced up with us, Lucas Amalisto still fighting, and he's not up against Dupe anymore. He's up against Bondarev. Bondarev's the car who's trying to fight him around the outside, as Anurag still finds himself trying to get past Reno Franco, as Anurag's trying to make a move of his own up the inside. That was always going to end in tears. They're still lucky to be pointing in the right direction, but Anurag, who was so aggressive earlier on in race number 2, showing the same driving traits here in race number 3 as we make it into the final corner.
Yeah, that was a very optimistic move from Anurag, but luckily the other drivers were surprisingly accommodating when it came to him barreling up the inside like that. So far, at least, no damage to anyone that I can see, and no chance of a safety car.
Oh, spinning round!
So just the commentator's curse.
Yep, commentator's curse comes into play. Is that Nicola? Oh no, looks like he's the one who's gone round. He's going to try to continue on, but that is such a disappointment for the number 50.
Yeah, that's a shame. And yeah, just one more thing to go against what I said. That's Nicola Macanani in the Sol BVM car getting a front wing change, I think.
Yeah, apologies. So it is Jan Koller, the driver, who is stranded on the circuit. Meanwhile, battle for the lead out in front. Gabriel Gomez having to defend in a way we haven't seen the race leader do so far this weekend as we cut away to a replay. Okay, so it's going to be Jan Koller who goes round. So we saw the Ferrari Junior drop to the bottom of our timing board, so I expected it was him, but actually no. So Jan Koller lost it on the circuit as around the outside. We're wheel to wheel. Gabriel Gomez trying to win this race, but he's going to find himself forcing wide Salim Hanna. The Prema drivers are on the charge. Nothing to separate them. Gomez gets back the position, and now can we see Newman Shi try and make the move and take second place? Nothing between the top 3, and they are bringing Lucas Amalisto into play.
Gomez getting his elbows out there with Salim Hanna, and it's great to see. He absolutely showed Hanna the side of the track and a bit more, but Newman Chi also trying to capitalize on it, not quite able to do so. But yeah, it's all sparks up at the front there. Keep an eye on Samalisto as well. He could be one to watch in this race. He's made the fastest lap, so he's got some speed behind him.
Absolutely, he would have been encouraged with all of the fighting that he was seeing ahead of him. So, we've only navigated our way through 4 minutes of this race. We're about to get to 4 minutes and we've already seen so much take place. Welcome to Italian F4. If you haven't been with us, everybody, this is the overtaking action you can expect. Anurag there looking to defend. That is Olivieri, who is on the back, who of course wasn't with us due to being in Group A when it came to race 1. He is with us right now at the moment. There in the pit lane is Andrea Rodriguez. So he's finding himself with a bit of a disappointment. Yellow flags are flying somewhere on the circuit as Olivieri still pushes his way through. I think that's Schropp who's dropping down our order. So that is Theo Schropp, the driver who actually moved up 10 places in race 1 from his original starting position, finds himself dropping down. Green flags are back out at the moment now as Olivieri is trying to take the RSGP driver ahead of the RSGP driver as well of Olivieri, and Samalista's all over the back. Cars absolutely everywhere. Exactly what we were hoping for that Misano would deliver us with.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and going across the gravel there is one of the Yenza cars. Can't quite make out. That's Theo Schropp. That'll be why you saw him falling down the order, Omi. So couldn't quite see whether he made contact with anyone or whether he just did that all by himself. But yeah, race severely compromised.
Absolutely. Lucas Samalisto. Oh, thought he was going to get to the inside line. It was a look at the moment, but looks can leave you compromised because now Bondarev's all over the back and Bondarev tries to force his way through. And yes, there is absolutely Prema's all over them. You've got Gomez in there, you've got Samalisto in there, and they've got a bit. They are being surrounded right now by Prema cars who are all attacking, who are all trying to gain some positions as they try and finish the best of possible. You are going to see Gomez versus Weldon, I'm sure. That'll be coming your way. Of course, in the race 5 this week. Race 4, I should say, this weekend. The finale that'll be coming up tomorrow morning. Race 5 will, of course, be the Imola grid as well. So it's slightly different and less based on the pace that these drivers have shown this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all a bit confusing, unfortunately, with such a big entry list as well as that recovery race left over from Imola. But we'll try our best to keep you up to date there. As yeah, more Prema infighting there. That'll be Bondarev as well as I believe Charles Dupé battling there. That'll be over 5th place.
Yep, getting closer and closer between those two drivers. Bondarev, who has had a very, very mixed season. Of course, the highlight being the top step that he got himself onto at Imola. He was leading the race as well. Race 1 at Monza, I remember, and then had a spin from the lead due to a issue that he had. So that was disappointment that day, but he fought back a few rounds later at Imola to get the win to end off the weekend as well with race number 3. That was a huge, huge positive as well for him. And he's looking to try and just end off this campaign on a high. Of course, has the Williams backing. We see the traffic, the lapped car getting out of the way as well. Slowing down and allowing the rest of the field to make their way through. And, well, Anurag still having to defend at the moment. Olivieri's looked like a driver to keep an eye on in terms of overtaking, but this Misano circuit makes it very difficult to do exactly that. But now can he do so? Because he's locking up, he's trying to force his rival off the ideal racing line, trying to see whether there's a cutback opportunity, Wes, and then overtake Anurag.
Yeah, side by side now, as they're both trying to stick in there down this long back straight down towards the braking zone. And as they cut away from it, we were not able to see that battle, unfortunately. But yeah, up at the front, it's still Gomez from Hannah, still relatively spaced out at the moment. There's about a second between all of them. It's one of those gaps that is just close but not quite close enough to make a move. So and going wide there, that was Chi and Samalisto, both Samalisto following Chi off the track, which is so easy to do when you're following another car. You tend to replicate their lines, so you tend to make their mistakes as well. But yeah, both drivers able to come back onto the track.
Okay, GB4 champion Ari Bansal has had a trip into the pit lane. Not an ideal weekend, I think it is fair to say, for Ari Bansal. Would have loved to have been in contention further up the field. Would have Ari Bansal, and it might mean that he won't actually even be able to qualify for the race later on. We'll keep you up to date. We'll bring you up to date in terms of all of that one. Walter is up in 15th. He's got past Waze. They are 15th and 16th at the moment, so they have just switched positions. But yes, the gaps spread out slightly, and they're spread out by Italian F4 standards. We'd be completely losing it had this been Formula 1, but in Italian F4, the gaps are minute. It's always such fine margins, and it means any errors will be punished. Now, Luca Samalista, we've mentioned his pace so far, and he's trying to take that pace to third position on the road, really getting himself closer and closer to a podium position. Is Luca Samalisto, will force a defensive shape, will try go the long way round, and is he going to be able to find the room on Newman Shi? He was always going to be vulnerable to being forced out slightly wide, in terms of that's just the way the racing line works at that part of the circuit, and he has to be careful because Bondarev will punish any form of wide moment, and he will take any opportunity he gets. But talking about a wide moment, that is exactly what Bondarev had himself round the final corner.
Yeah, he kind of got wide on the curb there and lost a whole bunch of momentum. Oh, here he goes now, Samalisto looking up the inside, and he forces Newman Chi out wide now. G's line is going to be severely compromised. He goes defensive once again, and Samalisto brakes hard, and he's trying to go around the outside. He locks up.
My word. Brave stuff. Absolutely extraordinary stuff. Luca Samalisto driving with a bit of anger behind the wheel because he knows that he needs to get past this Prema car. But now he's got to defend from a Prema car as well. He's got 3 of them all together on the circuit. So it is going to be still Newman Shi in third. And out wide will go Luca Samalisto. On the way out of the corner, it will open the door 100% for Bondarev to try and look for the opportunity as well. Luca Samalisto sends it late on the brakes of Newman Shi. He'll force out Newman Shi, who will now be vulnerable to his teammates in behind, and surely that will allow Alexander Bondarev to take the place when they next arrive. Down to our camera down there as we're still running side by side, and now you also are going to see Dupe trying to capitalize on any opportunity there could be, but Samalisto is ahead, and he's finally taken the position which he's been trying to for a while, and Bondarev moves up as well to P4 now.
Yeah, Bondarev now having to defend hard from the recovering Newman Chi, who runs out wide and is now in trouble with Andrea Charles Dupé, who's trying to go round and does so. So, Newman Chi just falling back at this stage, and now he's in trouble with Kabir Anurag, the pink car, trying to go round the outside up to the first corner.
Oh,
not
contact!
quite able to do that.
He spins around. And, I mean, we were always going to get to that point, and it's not the first time that Anurag has found himself in some trouble today. And we will, I think, avoid the safety car. I think we'll continue on. He'll get his foot back to the floor, Wes.
Yeah, that was an opportunistic move from Olivieri there, who just attacked the side of Anurag. Anurag's been in the wars several times already this weekend. We're going to get a replay of it now there. Yeah, I'm not sure Anurag was quite aware that Olivieri was there. He was so focused on the car in front, and yeah, contact inevitable, as you said, Omi.
Yeah, we were always going to get to that point. Now we make our way through to the end of this lap. Bart Harrison there in the mix as well. Of course, congratulations to him on a GB3 podium, is where he was 1 week ago. We were, of course, calling that race number 3. It was actually the first time that all 3 drivers on that podium had stood on that podium. Of course, we didn't get to mention that due to it being the championship moment for Ninovic, but yes, all drivers on that GB3 podium, it was their first time there, and it was a first win for Lucas Flusha. GB3 will return in a week's time, where we will end the season at the Temple of Speed at Monza, so make sure you keep an eye out for that as well. So it's all getting quite interesting. In terms of your drivers that would be eliminated, now this is a calculation from a few laps ago. In terms of the drivers that would be eliminated, Cotti, you'd have Cortez, you'd have Phil Collins Stranger, Peyton Vescott, you'd also have Amigo, Berabi, Cornelia Olkutska, and Andre Rodriguez. So those would be the drivers who would not take part as it stands as well. We are going to have to see some improvements from those drivers if they are still racing and running in this group, if they want to try and take the opportunity and progress forward and progress to our race number 4 tomorrow.
Yeah, I noticed that Phil Stranger got the black and orange flag, the meatball flag, as it's sometimes known there. We haven't seen him on screen. Oh, and Anurag is out of the race. Kabir Anurag into the pits, and he is out. Probably some damage we can't see to that car there, which makes sense after that contact with Olivieri, who at the moment is still not only still circling, but is attacking the back of Reno Frankot in the PHM.
Certainly is at the moment. So, all to play for then in those battles. We make our way through. Still the defensive coming in from Reno Frankot. Olivieri looking to attack Reno Frankot, one of the superstars, of course, winning an E4 race as well, and then contending. Remember the Mugello race from Reno Frankot, absolutely on the attack. What a fantastic, talented driver. The Dutch racer has done so well to drive the PHM car all the way up into contention, slightly wide out of that final corner. We're seeing that from quite a few drivers, and as you mentioned, if one does it, then they can all follow, because especially at that part of the circuit, they're all trying to follow each other's line, and it can usually lead to a moment where you find yourself off the road as well. Remember, the drivers have to be careful of track limits at the same time. But now we are going to see a really big defensive shape, surely having to come in from Kostic, because now Frankot, rather than defending, wants to do a bit of attacking and wants to do a bit of overtaking in this race.
Yeah, Kostic had a bit of a compromised line into that, got it a little wrong, and now Frankot is all over the back of him, so he's immediately gone from defense to attack, which so often the way in F4. You have to really be on your toes all the time, because you never know what you're going to find. As there we go, Frankot looking around the outside. Kostic defends well now, but he's going to have a compromised line going down to the back straight. Frankot will get in that slipstream, and hopefully we'll pick them back up here on screen. Nope, we're going to be following Sam Listo. So yeah, we'll bring you whatever happens to that battle when we next pick it up.
Absolutely. In terms of other things that we may want to start picking up soon, keep an eye on Cortez. I mentioned him being in elimination zone, as out of a wide goes Salim Hanna. Salim Hanna runs slightly wide, but I mentioned Cortez being in elimination zone as well. He's right now, if he can gain one more position, he will find himself in and will kick out Matilda Pat. So we'll keep you up to date with that in terms of who will be racing in the race number 4 that will be coming up. But for now, we still got a battle to resolve. It is Gomez versus Salim Hanna to win this race. 8 minutes and 18 seconds plus 1 lap to go. And lap 8, lap 9, lap 10. Salim Hanna has been quicker on them all, but it's all now about, can you make the overtake? Can you pass, and can you go all in to try to take the win?
It just shows you how important track limits are to monitor around here, because Salim Hanna, despite going incredibly wide in the final corner and running over the grass, did the fastest lap on that last lap. So yeah, he's probably going to lose that, I would imagine, and that'll add to his total of track limits offences, which he's going to want to keep an eye on.
Absolutely, he will want to indeed, as we make our way through them on this circuit at the moment. The field continue to push on and attack. Gabriel Gomez doing so well to try and control things from this point. Salim Hanna looking to try and get himself to a victory this season, and he of course has found himself in contention on quite a few occasions. Has Salim Hanna has definitely had some second positions. Had a very disappointing round to end Monza and then to begin Mugello. Also, I noticed. But he finds himself fourth in the points battle, but hasn't taken a victory all season long. Remember, this is a driver who has won when it has come to British F4, but all season long in the Italian F4 Championship, he has not been able to take the race victory. Yellow flags are out. Yellow flags are out at the moment. And
Elia Weiss is heading down the order, and I think he's got going again because it's now green flag. So yeah, it looked like Elia Weiss has had an off somewhere.
He has indeed. So it is now Cortez who is up to 18th position. Cortez is up now to 18th position. So That's interesting. That's interesting because that could book his position now and kick Matilda Pats out of race number 4 later on. So we'll bring you up to date with that, but it is looking good. It is looking positive. Bit of a lock-up there coming into play by Shi as he arrives on the back of his teammate Dupay at the moment. 6 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and it is 1 second. So Gomez just able to break the gap a little bit and just pull the advantage. No DRS, of course, in Italian F4, meaning that you have to be much more closer than being at that 5, 6, 10 range. You have to be glued to the back of your rival.
Yeah, you certainly do. And Andrea Charles-Dupay getting very close to the back of Bondarev now, who's despite not probably being the quickest Prema driver over the course of the season, he's had some very poor races this year, doing very, very well right at the moment up in 4th place. He's losing time to Sam Alisto, who seems to have that the podium, the 3rd place wrapped up at the moment. He's just out on his own, but yeah. So Bondarev doing well, and Newman Chi hopefully can recover from what's been an unfortunate race. It has to be said. He's been a little bullied at times.
Has been indeed. Into the braking zone, Gabriel Gomez, fastest lap. 1 minute 36.375 set that time by. But still, Salim Hanna is close. Still, he is within range. Could we see the Premas do battle? That would definitely be quite a lot of fun if we're able to see them go at it. Olivieri, meanwhile, the driver in 10th, is trying to now improve and get past Reno Francot. You've got car number 68 next to car number 69. And we also got car number 67. They're all together on the timing board as well, together at the moment. Absolutely. Absolutely nice indeed. So let's see whether they're going to do battle, and let's see whether we're going to see them fighting. But I can certainly tell you, Newman Shi is looking for the opportunity to make an overtake of his own, as we see that battle go on further in the background. But now this could get interesting, could get really interesting between the Premas, but they're battling over P5 at the moment.
Yeah, they certainly are. Dupay, who's been quite the attacking driver so far this race, is now under pressure from the recovering Newman Chi, the Chinese driver. Salim Hanna setting the fastest lap. He's less than a second behind Gomez now, so that race still certainly isn't over, as Chi has a look. Not quite able to do that. Just letting Dupay know that he's there. Dupay there, who's, as I said, has been attacking a lot in this race, probably doesn't have the best looking tyres at the moment. He goes defensive now. Chi looking to the outside, but Dupay's got that one covered.
Covers it off, and they continue now their battle in towards the next corner. Here we go then. Defensive shape incoming by Dupay. Newman. She looks to the outside line. Can't currently find his way by. What about better traction on the exit? You have to remember that these two will be in the same debrief later on, so you've got to be careful in the way that you fight up against your teammate. And I can certainly tell you the two Premas are going for it. One trying to get himself into a position of the lead. The other two battling still, as around the outside to take the position goes Newman Chi, and he gets ahead of Dupay. The battle that was going on finally resolved, and now Bart Harrison is on the scene to try and see, okay, is there any positions for me to try and grab as the Premas squabble it out here in the final minutes of Misano.
Yeah, Bart Harrison's been quietly making his way up the order there in the number 77 Yenza car, and now is looking to take advantage of the compromised Andrea Charles Dupay. Going through the first corner now. Yeah, and Dupay's definitely struggling for traction there. He's really battling that steering wheel, and it seems like it's only a matter of time before Harrison makes a lunge down the inside.
Absolutely. That is exactly where we are heading at the moment. So here we go then. 1 minute and 40 seconds plus a 1 lap beyond that to go. But can Bart Harrison try and gain a position? It was so nice to actually just see him, considering he's had a very average season with us this season in Italian F4, and I think that will be the way you'll look at it. Just go out there and get a podium and be contending for the win on the restart as well. At Donington Park, quite impressive, because the regional level, of course, a step up compared to us in Italian F4. Now, are we going to see Salim Hanna get the opportunity? Time is running out. He needs to really claw onto the back of Gomez if he wants to try and do this. If not, Gomez is on his way to win once again, and Prema will not be able to take another win. They won't be able to make it 3 out of 3. 50 seconds on the clock to go. We're about to make our way on to the penultimate lap of the race, and we still don't know who is going to win it. Gomez is controlling things. He's driving perfectly, but any errors cannot come out in these final stages now, because Salim Hanna has also been setting fastest laps. These two so equally paced out there.
Yeah, Salim Hanna been a very consistent driver this year, not just in Italian F4, but of course been doing great things whenever he ventured over the English Channel to British F4 as well. He's won a couple of races there, not least the F1 supporting round at Silverstone, the non-championship round. Very, very impressive in that. And he's been largely scoring points consistently in sort of the lower reaches of the points, but he's had more than just the odd time up at the front as well, and this one is been very impressive, it has to be said. He's been very calm and collected now, but he's definitely running out of time if he does want to try and pull a move on Gabriel Gomez.
Absolutely. Here we go then. We are making our way in towards the final lap of the race. Gabriel Gomez, if he can just control things, if there's no errors, then that should be him to the finish. And Gabriel Gomez has been in this position quite a few times in terms of heading onto a last lap, having drivers in behind, and just the task of drive like you've driven across the event so far to get to the checkered flag. Yellow flags are out. Momentarily. We've had plenty of those in terms of it coming up for a second. But we go on to the last lap. That is one more tour for Gomez to try and control things as they come across the line. We've got a battle for the lead. We've got a battle for third. None look like they're really going to change, but I think if we are to see a change anywhere, it could be further behind from P5 and downwards. But this is the last lap.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Gomez looks at the moment, unless anything changes soon, that he is maintaining that small gap he's got to Hanna. Hanna's, unless he finds a sniff of a slipstream somewhere, he doesn't look like he'll be making the move anytime soon. So it's been a good level of control from Gabriel Gomez, and he's making up for the tragedy, it has to be said, of race 2 a few hours ago, where he was not able to take the start for still reasons unknown, but all that's behind him now. The US racing team have done a great job of fixing whatever problem was in that car, and he seems like, assuming everything in the last half a lap goes well, that he will be taking victory, but Hanna's going to be pushing him all the way to the flag and a bit more besides.
Oh, he has a look. He gets so close, but it'll be out wide. That was a bit of a late attempt to see whether anything would come. But Gabriel Gomez needs more than just a little look up the inside, because he knows how to control things. He's found himself in winning contention before, and now he's going to find himself winning once again in Italian F4. Gabriel Gomez takes the flag first, and what a redemption drive that is. Was set to be on pole for race 2 earlier on, had to sit it out. He's come straight back. The team have fixed the car, and he is your race winner then, as he takes the 3rd race of the weekend and the final group race as well. Salim Hanna is in 2nd, and then it's Samalista in 3rd, Bondarev's in 4th, and then we find ourselves with Chi, Dupe, Bart Harrison, Koshik, Franco, and Olivieri complete our top 10. Our rookie winner is Salim Hanna. No surprise of that. He has been driving absolutely brilliantly and was contending for the win there. And I think that would be a case for Salim Hanna. If there was one more lap, what could I have done?
Yeah, Yeah, as is so often the way with a lot of drives, it's always one lap too short. But yeah, take nothing away from Salim Hanna. It was a very mature drive, and it was definitely worth the slight lunge there, just on the off chance that it might unsettle Gabriel Gomez. But the unflappable Brazilian there taking the victory, and well deserved it was too.
Well deserved indeed, as you mentioned, Wes, and that is such a great and extraordinary performance by him to take the checkered flag. First, Gabriel Gomez, the Brazilian driver, definitely giving everyone another Brazilian to think about as well. And I'm so looking forward to seeing what he'll be able to do next season. Of course, we're getting to the point where we mentioned that about nearly every single driver. But no, there are so many different young talents. Their careers begin in so many different ways, and it won't be the championship this season for Gomez, but he is just getting himself a step closer to the next level, and, he's trying his absolute best to, of course, get the best contract and get the best team. Okay, here are your race results then at the end of this contest. Gabriel Gomez ends as the winner. Salim Hanna in second. He's your rookie winner from today's racing. Samalista's in third. Then it's Bondarev, Shi, Dupé, Harrison, Koshlik, Francot and Olivieri complete our top 10. Just under 11 seconds separating our top 10 by the time they reach the checkered flag at the end of 25 minutes of racing. And one lap beyond that as well. Marcusito in 11th, Consani in 12th, Savinkov in 13th, and then Walter, Suleti, Vinci, Busso, Cortez, Albag, and Kohler completes our top 20, and then Waze, Schropp, who found himself dropping down earlier on, Erigo, Olkutska, Stranger, Ari Bansel, and then Makagani also finding himself off as well. We'll bring you up to date in terms of who we are going to be losing from this event in a second. But KNB ends as the champion, 322 points to his name. Gomez and Weldon will battle for second place. That is to come across the racing tomorrow. We'll keep an eye in terms of how they will end up tomorrow, so make sure you keep an eye on that. But into Park Ferme comes Gabriel Gomez, and according to my calculations, Wes, we should be saying goodbye now for race number 4 tomorrow to Pats, to Cotti, to Phil Collins Stranger, to Peyton Vescott, to Arrigo, to Beremy, to Olkutska, and to Andre Rodriguez. I think those will be the drivers that we should be losing if my calculations are correct.
That's true, yeah. It's not all over for them. A lot of them will be in the recovery race later on. Of course, only drivers that officially entered the Imola round will be eligible for that. But it's nice nonetheless that that they won't have to go home. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a very weird one. The group format, very weird to be like, oh yeah, they're not racing, they've lost out, and then they get to race at the end of the weekend. It is very weird how it works, but yes, welcome to Italian F4. This is our season finale. We had to. I mean, the organizers thought for such a long time on what was going to happen. They didn't want to give us 4 races at Spain. They just decided, oh yeah, let's do 5 at Misano. How about that?
Absolutely, yeah. There's no such thing as too many entrants into an Italian F4 grid, even if the circuit can't hold them all. It's yeah, everybody's money's good here. But yeah, no, we do like seeing a full grid, absolutely, and yeah, we're happy to have everybody racing.
Yeah, the series that is accommodating absolutely everyone. Can't wait till we get to like maybe 60 in a few years' time, and then we're having to have multiple group races. We might need a weekend just specifically for Italian F4 in the schedule. There won't be time for any other events alongside it. They'll need to book out a circuit for themselves, I'm sure. Okay, but yes, it is now time to go down and hear from our race winner Gabriel Gomez.
A well-deserved victory, maybe a small consolation from a championship perspective.
Yeah, I mean, after this morning was a bit sad with the technical issue in the first race. Was a bit unexpected for me, for the team, for everyone. So we worked really well during the whole week. I think we showed every session we have a great pace, and yesterday quali with a really good pace during the quali, and then today in the race as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't make the first race, but I think now the team deserves the results a lot because they worked really hard during the whole week to find a good car. And then I feel bad for everyone, for me and for the team with the problem this morning. But now we show in the track again we can fight there for the wins. We have the pace, and I'm really happy with this. So now it will be a little bit more difficult in the final. We're starting a bit behind, but we will try everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Gabriel Gomez as well for speaking with us. Well, Wes, I let you talk us through the highlights earlier, so I'll let you talk us through them again as you like to do it so perfectly.
Yeah, it was a very interesting race, despite not featuring a number of well-known names from this season. Great start from Gomez, as we said, making up for lost time in race 2. There was no contact at first, but yeah, a couple of drivers running wide as they went on to this left-hander somehow to file through without contact. But then the contact came, and yeah, suddenly it was all going wrong. But luckily, they were all able to continue at least to the pit lane, and yeah, Sam Listo was very much a dark horse in this race, pulling off a number of great moves like this inside Newman Chi, who would fall back down, and then more contact between Olivieri and Guy Albag. Guy Albag, Kabir Anurag, I beg your pardon. And unfortunately, he had to retire. Olivieri did score a point in 10th, though, subject to a steward's decision. And the win going to Gomez, despite a last lap sort of move from Salim Hanna. But yeah, Hanna will more than likely be happy with that second place, and Gomez absolutely overjoyed with the win.
Oh, well, that
highlights...
Go on.
And also shout out to Sam Alisto as well for a brilliant podium. We don't often see him on the podium, but yeah, this one, very, very good, very mature drive, and top marks to him.
Absolutely. He's only had one other podium finish at Monza this season, but that is it. Yeah, that highlights had absolutely everything. But, well, Wes's Discord was having a nightmare once again during about 3 seconds of that. I can assure you that did not actually happen in the race.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, I can assure you, everybody, it didn't happen in the race. So everything was okay with Wes's Discord in the race. It just had a bit of a nightmare at that moment. So, yes, that wasn't a part of the highlights. I think we have to tell the viewers.
My bad.
Do not worry at all. I'm happy it didn't happen in the race. It's all fine happening now at this moment. Anyway, trophies are given to our contenders out there, our podium finishers, and it's time for the Brazilian national anthem. Brazilian national anthem.
Getting the short version of that.
Yeah, they always like to give us a short version as well. But yeah, we've heard the Brazilian national anthem quite a lot in the Feeder Series world over the last few years and this year as well. So why not have it just that little bit more at the same time? They pose for the pictures now.
Yeah, brilliant to see US racing back at the top as well. It's Italian F4 is so often a Prema-dominated affair, but yeah, every now and then we get a race-winning performance from US racing, and we know the team started by Gerhard Unger and Ralf Schumacher is always happy to be at the top.
Yeah, and that is it. Trackside, there is no more racing action to be had as well, and that is it for Italian F4 at the same time. Where's final thoughts then from today's racing? Well, that's group stuff dealt with. That's all out of the way. Time for 2 incredible races tomorrow to round out the Italian F4 season.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm very much looking forward to seeing the whole grid back together, more or less. At least the top drivers all back together in tomorrow's final, as well as that recovery race from Imola. Yeah, it's going to be really, really good.
It's going to be fun. Well, I mean, we began here at Misano to start the campaign on what was the 3rd of May. We started, of course, with the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine as we held our season openers. And, well, I'm excited to say, or a little bit sad to say at the same time, that we have reached the end. We have reached a conclusion and we're about to say goodbye to an Italian F4 season. But still 2 more races coming up and we'll have those tomorrow. Please join us then for the final bit of Italian F4 racing in 2025. And then, of course, we'll have E4 later on in 2 weeks' time at Monza as well. But from Misano, congratulations, Gabriel Gomez. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to come out on top tomorrow. Goodbye.